What's good, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. Today I got a review of the Shure MV7. This is not a paid sponsorship or anything like that. I just wanted to upgrade from my old Blue Snowball. It was a great mic. I've been using it for like 3 or 4 years now. Fantastic for the money. If you just want a mic that's easy to use, no EQ, nothing, that's just plug and play, I highly recommend you get the Blue Snowball. But the reason why I did decide to go with the Shure MV7 is because I don't have SM7B money. The SM7B itself is literally $400, and then you have to buy like a $200 to $300 interface, like the Go XLR Mini or a Scarlett or something like that. And I just, to me, it wasn't worth it. I wanted something that I could get Shure SM7B audio quality from without actually spending Shure SM7B money, and that's kind of where the MV7 falls in line. Now, is it a SM7B killer? Not by any stretch of the imagination. Obviously, audio coming from an audio interface is going to be better than over a USB signal, but to be honest, for the price point, you get a lot out of a USB mic, and you still have the option for XLR in the back if you decide to upgrade to a audio interface later. So today I'm just going to be doing a review on different windscreens for the MV7, because the biggest issue that I ran into with this is that the original windscreen is very poorly made and you could hear a lot of plosives, and I was looking for alternatives, and I did find a couple good alternatives, so that's what I'm here for. I'm here to give you guys these alternatives. So if you're looking to buy the Shure MV7, make sure you pick up this windscreen along with it. It's very cheap. Got it on Amazon for like $10-15. You don't have to go crazy. And it really also drastically improved the audio quality if it wasn't good enough already. So let's get into it, man. Like I said before, this is the Shure MV7. Now, as you can see, with this windscreen that I'm currently using, matter of fact, let me turn on my audio a little bit, it might be a little too loud. With this windscreen that I'm using right now, as you can tell, it's smaller. This is the original windscreen that comes with it. If I take it off, you can tell that, you know, it's a little flimsy, it's small, it's not really too much, you know, that goes into it. This is the original capsule. As you can tell, it's a lot different than the original SM7B capsule, but the real big difference is when it comes to plosives. So we can test that out right now. This is without any windscreen at all. All right. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. That is without the windscreen. Now the plosives are probably absolutely horrible without the windscreen. Now I'm gonna put on the original windscreen that came with the mic. All right. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. Now the plosives, you know, the windscreen probably did help a little bit, but the plosives are definitely still there, and you can definitely still notice it. Now this right here is the Shure A7WS. I hope I got that right. Yeah, it is the A7WS. Now this right here is a big boy. This is thick. It is well made. You could definitely tell the difference in quality between this and the original windscreen. Now the problem with this is it does look a little weird on a mic this small. So if you're more for aesthetics and stuff, you might want to deal with the plosives instead of buying this and having this big old windscreen on your mic. Now you saw what it looked like before in the beginning of the video, but now I'm going to switch out windscreens. All right, and I'm gonna test out the plosives again. You might have heard a difference in audio quality. This definitely does muffle your voice a little bit, but not really muffle, but you're able to talk louder into this mic without the volume, you know, skyrocketing and hurting people's ears who have headphones in. All right, so I'm gonna try the plosives again. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to play the audio from before with this windscreen back to back with this one, and then you let me know which one sounds better and which one has less plosives. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. Now, if you ask me personally, I think it's worth the investment to get this windscreen. I think the difference between this windscreen and the other windscreen is night and day. And for only like $10 on Amazon, I think this is definitely a steal. Other than the plosives, this mic doesn't really struggle with much, to be honest. I think the audio quality is great. It's definitely a step up from the Blue Snowball. It's running for about $250 right now on Amazon. I say it's worth it. The only I wouldn't say it's worth it for people that want to just strictly use XLR. I feel like there's better options out there. But if you're like me and you prefer something a little more simple, easy to use, almost plug and play, you might have to mess around with the Shure MOTIV app, do a little bit of EQ to make sure you get everything right. But if you really just want something that's easy, plug and play, you should rather use USB. If you're like me, you don't have a lot of desk space to fit something like a Go XLR, and you just want something that's as easy, I would recommend this mic. I think this is probably the best USB mic you could possibly find. Now, I think Samsung's coming out with another mic that's also dynamic, that's supposed to rival the MV7, but it has not yet been released. It was supposed to be released a long time ago, but it has been delayed for a very long time. It's supposedly supposed to be coming out by the end of the year, so we'll see. I'm forgetting the name right now, but I will put the mic up on the screen. So, I was gonna wait until that mic came out, and I was gonna read some reviews on it and then make my decision then. But to be honest, I don't know. It's something about Shure mics that just makes me gravitate towards them. Now, I saw a lot of people talking about the design of this mic because they don't like the big Shure branding on this side or the LEDs. And to be honest, I don't mind it. I feel like it's something different. Another thing that I really didn't want to do is do what every other basic YouTuber and every other basic streamer does. Get the Shure SM7B, get a Go XLR Mini. I feel like that's kind of boring and kind of mainstream. And I just wanted to be a little bit different than everybody else and get the MV7. And again, the quality in the SM7B, to me at least, is better. This is the thing with audio quality and mics. It depends on the type of how deep your voice is. And some things just sound better to different people. So, it's kind of hard to really go off of reviews when it comes to mics without really testing it out on your voice yourself, hearing it yourself, playing around with it yourself, and then making your decision then. But as far as what you get for your money, and this being a dynamic mic and doing a really great job at blocking out background noise, like watch, I'm gonna pretend to type on my keyboard for a little bit, and then you let me know how bad the background noise is. I'm currently typing on my keyboard. Now I'm going to do a few mouse clicks. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to compare the noise cancellation of this dynamic MV7 to my Blue Snowball. Now obviously the dynamic mic is going to have way better noise cancellation than a condenser mic, but just for anybody out there that wants to know and that doesn't know, condenser mics are notorious for picking up background noise. I have a really loud PC in the background. Sounds like a jet engine, so I just gotta, that's another reason why I want to get this, because with the Blue Snowball, it would pick up a lot of little things. My keyboard, when I'm typing, it would be loud. When I'm clicking, it'd be loud. When I'm using my PS5 controller, you'd hear, me mashing buttons, and you hear my PC in the back. So that's another reason. That's probably one of the biggest reasons I decided to get a dynamic mic. But I'm now going to play the audio back to back just so you guys can hear the difference. This is the Blue Snowball and how it reacts to background noise. I am currently typing on my keyboard. with red cherry switches. About the same level as my MV7. I will now be clicking with my mouse. I will now be doing the plosive test. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. If that's how it goes, I already forgot. I'm currently typing on my keyboard. Now I'm going to do a few mouse clicks. So now what I'm going to do is, before I go, I'm just going to run you guys through the Shure MOTIV app. Now, as you can see right here, there's a lock on the screen. I just locked in my settings and my presets, so it won't automatically reset by itself or whatever. So I recommend you do this after you get everything correct. Or you can just set a preset, but I'd rather do it this way instead. It's a lot easier. So I'm going to unlock it now. And now you get a decent amount of control. You can obviously mute your mic from here if you want. But you also have a mute button on the mic itself right here. So if you wanted to, you don't have to go to the app. What you have to do is, it's touch sensitive. So you just tap it and your mic is muted. Or if you're like me, you have a Stream Deck, you can just hook it up to your Stream Deck, press the key, mute your mic. You can control mic gain here. It goes up to what I think 36 gain. I like to leave it at 33. I feel like that's a good middle ground for me as far as how deep my voice is and stuff and how close I am to the mic. You have your mic and playback mix, and you have your EQ. Now you could either keep the frequency flat, you could boost the high pass, you can apply presence boost, or you could boost the high pass and the presence boost. Now me personally, I feel like the presence boost it's more flattering to my voice. I'm gonna play all four for you guys. This is the flat EQ. This is the high pass EQ. This is the high pass EQ. This is the one that I personally use. This is the presence boost EQ. And this very last one is the high pass and the presence boost EQ. Now you let me know if you heard a difference between each one of these. Personally, again, like I said, I prefer the presence boost. That might just be me. Everybody's voice is different. Everybody likes different sounds. So play around with it and see which one you like best. Next, we have a limiter. Now this is very useful if you're somebody that plays video games, scary video games like Outlast, and you tend to scream a lot, and you want to avoid blowing out the eardrums of viewers with headphones in. So this is very useful. Again, it doesn't really work as well as I would like it to work. It's still better than nothing, I guess, but it's not as effective as I thought it would be. But I still keep it on anyways, just in case. It does help a little bit, so any help is very useful. And then the last piece, the last level of customization that you have is the compressor. Obviously, you could choose from either off, light, medium, or heavy. As of right now, I have it on light. This is a dynamic microphone again, so I don't really pick up a lot of background noise or anything like that. I'm fairly close to my mic, as you can see. My mouth is as close as I could get to this windscreen without kissing it. So I like to leave it on light. Works fine for me. Now this is just the manual setting. You can come here and you have a little bit more control as far as your position from the mic. If you're like me and you're near, obviously you choose near. If you're far from the mic, there's a difference in frequency, so I'm going to change it to far now. This is the far setting. This is kind of like it's just sitting like this, with a good distance away from your mic. Again, I prefer near, and I recommend that you put it on near, because with a dynamic microphone, for the best quality and for a proximity effect, you'd want to be as close to the mic as possible to get that kind of radio tone if you really wanted it to. Next is tone. This kind of changes the way your voice sounds. If you want a more natural, sound. This is what I'm using right now. If you want a little something more dark, this is like if you're really going for a radio type vibe. If you really have a naturally high voice and you want to sound a little, you want your voice to be a little bit deeper, have a little bit more body to it, you might go for dark, along with playing around with the EQ. But again, look, you see it went back to flat, so I gotta go back to presence boost, and I gotta lock my settings. It's also because I changed the auto level too. If you change any of the auto level, your manual will change, so just be aware of that. But yeah, that was dark. All right, this is dark. Naturals would have been on this whole time, this whole video, and this is bright. Bright is a little too much for my voice. I don't like it at all. So for me, I'd either stick with dark or natural, but I really like the way natural sounds, so I think I'm gonna keep that on. I'm gonna go back, fix my settings again. We're good, and then I'm going to hit the lock button. There we go. Now nothing will change no matter what happens. Your mic, as soon as you plug in your mic, as soon as you start our stream or whatever, everything will be the same. You don't gotta keep coming back in here and readjusting your settings as long as you like where they are. Thank you guys for watching. If you're gonna be picking up this windscreen or picking up this mic, let me know in the comment section down below. Let me know what you thought about the mic too in the comment section. Let me know what you thought about this video. I appreciate you guys as always, and I'll catch you guys in my next video. I'm out of here.